Hello everyone, my name is Arya Devdhar and this is part 7 of NCERT Class 10 Science, Chapter 1 Chemical Reactions and Equations. Okay, so in the last part we covered a very major part of the chapter which was oxidation and reduction and redox reactions. So in this part we are going to cover the last portion of the chapter, which is effects of oxidation in everyday life. Okay, so I'll just write that down. Effects of oxidation in everyday life. Okay, so obviously there are two types of effects. Some of them are beneficial and others are harmful, right? So the beneficial ones include digestion, like the oxidation of food, which helps us obtain energy. So it's a beneficial effect. Other than that, we have burning of fuels, right? So burning of fuels requires oxygen, right? So oxidation takes place obviously, and burning of fuels helps us run our cars and our machinery. Okay, so again, a beneficial effect, but some effects are also harmful for us. So in this video we'll be talking about the harmful effects, two major harmful effects, which are corrosion and rancidity. Okay, so effects of oxidation in everyday life. So the first one is corrosion. You might have heard this a lot. It's a major problem nowadays. And the second one is rancidity. Okay, so let's get into it. First up, we have corrosion. So what exactly does corrosion mean? Corrosion is basically the degradation of metals. Okay, so corrosion is basically the degradation of metals. It is the uh, it destroys metals, or you can say it weakens the strength of the metals. So degradation of metals. Also, it's a very slow reaction. It's not at all fast. Okay, it happens gradually over a long period of time. So it's a slow reaction. So you can also say it's slow degradation of metals. Okay. So there are three main examples of corrosion which I would like to mention here. Okay, they are well known. So let's move to the first one. So example, the first one is iron. So rusting of iron. Okay, so it has a particular name. The corrosion of iron is also known as rusting of iron. Okay, you might have seen that on the monuments, brown flaky substance is formed. Okay, over time. So that is nothing but rust. It is nothing but the result of corrosion on iron on that monument. Okay, so due to that the monument strength weakens. It will not last very long basically. Okay, so it's a bad thing. So rusting of iron, let me write down the reaction for this. The reaction is 4Fe plus 3O2 plus 2x dot H2O. I'll explain this. Gives 2Fe2O3 dot XH2O. Okay, so what is this 2xH2O and this XH2O? Well, 2xH2O is basically moisture. Okay, H2O means water, right? So it is basically moisture. Another word for water is moisture. So this is moisture. Okay, and here 2Fe2O3 is ferric oxide, right? But XH2O means that it is hydrated ferric oxide. Okay, it's not just ferric oxide. So this whole thing will be called hydrated ferric oxide. Hydrated ferric oxide. Okay, so that basically means that without moisture, this cannot be formed. So if you only have iron and oxygen, no moisture, if it is completely dry, then rust will not form. Okay, so moisture is a very essential part of this process. Okay, so this hydrated ferric oxide is known as rust. Okay, that is why it's called rusting of iron. Okay, so this is one example, a very common example, a very well-known example. The second one is of silver. Okay, the second one is of silver. It is called known as tarnishing of silver. Okay, it is known as tarnishing of silver. So you might have seen that on your silver ornaments or your whatever silver utensils you have at home, a black color substance forms on them, right, when they are exposed to air for a long period of time. That is nothing but corrosion of silver. It is also given a special name, which is tarnishing of silver. Okay, so the reaction here involved here is 2Ag plus H2S gives Ag2S plus H2. Okay, so here silver reacts with hydrogen sulfide from the air. Hydrogen sulfide is a highly poisonous gas which has like a pungent odor. It's not really great. It does not smell great. It has the odor of rotting eggs. Okay, so hydrogen sulfide, I'll write that down. Hydrogen sulfide. It gives Ag2S, which is silver sulfide plus hydrogen. So silver sulfide is basically known as tarnish, and it is black in color. Okay, so that is a substance which you find on your silver ornaments or your silver utensils, and hydrogen gas is released. Okay, so this is basically, you can see, it is kind of a displacement reaction. So anyways, tarnishing of silver. Okay, rust is brown in color. I forgot to write that. Rust is brown in color. Tarnish is black in color. Okay, and moving on to the third one. It is also, we have seen it in our lives. It is copper corrosion. Okay, it does not have a special name. It's just copper corrosion. So you might have seen on your copper utensils, whatever you have at home. Maybe you keep water in it, right? So such utensils, they develop a green color coating on them. Okay, so that is copper carbonate. So the process in formation process is Cu plus CO2 gives CuCO3. Okay, so this is basic copper carbonate. CuCO3 is basic copper carbonate. Okay, and basically, so copper reacts with carbon dioxide present in the air to give CuCO3, and that is the green color coating which you find on your copper utensils. Okay, yeah. So moving on, next up we have rancidity. So what is rancidity basically? It is the oxidation of fats in your food. Okay, so rancidity is the oxidation of fats and oils present in your food. Okay, so you might have heard that the food has gone rancid or the food has gone bad. So why does that happen? Because the oxidation of the fats or the oils present in the food takes place, and it produces some poisonous substances, and hence it becomes bad to eat. Okay, harmful to eat. So oxidation of fats and oils in food is basically rancidity. So after this oxidation happens, a particular odor can be found coming from the food. Particular odor. It's not great. It's very disgusting. Particular odor from food can be noticed. They might also develop a color or something. And we, like our parents or whatever, they say that don't eat this food, it has gone bad. It usually happens with butter or milk, or it goes bad. It does not stay good if you keep it out in the sun. Okay, so that is rancidity. Now moving on, we have to see how to prevent rancidity. Okay, so that is a major part of this rancidity. So how can we prevent it? Okay, so there are some steps. The first one is storing food in airtight containers. I'm sorry, storing food in airtight containers. So using airtight containers will reduce the exposure of air, right? And hence it will prevent the food from going rancid. Right, so use of airtight containers. The second one is refrigeration. So when you bring the temperature of the food down, less bacteria will be formed, right? And it also reduces the process of rancidity, or it stops the food from being rancid. At least it prevents it till a certain point, maybe 10 days, 15 days, but afterwards it will obviously go bad if you keep it for a very, very long time, 2 3 months, it will obviously go bad, right? Okay, then we have some antioxidants are added to food. Okay, some antioxidants are added to food, which is also a way of preventing rancidity. Antioxidants, they prevent oxidation, hence they are called antioxidants. Simple. Yeah. Okay. Then we have so the antioxidants. One example, is adding, I think, salt and sugar to pickles. Okay, so that is a good example of antioxidants. So pickles go bad quickly, right? So they have some antioxidants in them to prevent. Okay, and one more example I'll give you here, which is of flushing the bag of chips with nitrogen gas. Okay, so flush. I'm sorry. My God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, yeah. Flushing bag of chips with antioxidants. I'm sorry, not antioxidants. Uh, with nitrogen gas. So this takes place in the major companies like Lay's and whatever you have, chip companies, right? So you might see when you open the bag, there is a lot of gas inside. There is a lot of air inside. You might think that that is a marketing strategy that they tell us 30% more, but there is like so much of air inside it. But there's a reason for that air, and that is not normal air. It is nitrogen gas. What happens as chips contain a lot of fat and oils? They like have a high probability that they will go bad or they will go rancid, right? So that is why nitrogen gas is flushed, or it is the bag of chips is filled with nitrogen gas to prevent the food from going rancid. Okay, so obviously there is no oxygen gas, right? So it prevents the chips going rancid. Okay, so chip manufacturers, they flush the bags with nitrogen gas. So basically they're replacing oxygen, nothing else. So these are the one of the main four methods of preventing rancidity. There are many more, but the major four are these. Okay, so that's it for this video, and that's it for this lesson. We have completed the lesson of chapter 1, chemical reactions and equations. I hope you understood all of the videos. If you have any doubt in the chapter, you can ask me. I'll try to answer it as well as I can. Um, so that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.